Hi, this is Scott Ware with Radiance Magazine, and I have with me Phyllis Douglas, who is on the cover of the December-January issue. Say hello, Phyllis.
Hi, everybody. Here.
So you are it's interesting, you are a messenger, you're a direct conduit for source, you are an angel conduit, and one of the ways in which you are conduit is you sing in such beautiful ways. You use your voice in performances and in workshops, which have an incredible effect on people. What is it that you're doing and what are you bringing forth? Talk to us about that.
Well, I guess a better way to explain it is that I'm an angelic. So meaning that when I was born, I never lost, I didn't lose that connection to the angelic realm. Okay. And so I've always been connected, and I've always had that relationship that has grown and expanded as I got older and became really more consciously aware of what's going on in the world, and my own process of a reawakening to my gifts that I held dearly when I was a child, that I kind of there was a period of time when I just kind of shut that down as well.
Sure.
But then a deeper understanding came through. So at a certain point then, I had a deeper awareness of the angels, can see the angels, speak with the angels, and speak the language of the angels. Around 2007, I was told that I was going to be speaking to my clients, and it would just be my angelical language, which is frequency based, but I didn't understand it necessarily at the time, but people they reacted to it. They had a response, and I knew that it was frequency based. It had to do with resonance and altering a person's frequencies. And so as I became more aware, I had an experience up in Sedona where I actually went up to the angelic realm, and I underwent.
Where you went up to the angelic realm? Is that at about 5,000 feet?
I have no idea. I went into that dimensional realm.
Okay. Yeah.
I left my body during a process which the woman said, I was there for a spiritual workshop. And she said, I was on the table, and she was showing people how to do a certain technique similar to Reiki. And she goes, I don't know why, but I'm able to do what are called halo activations. And she was being called to do a halo activation for me. And I was like, okay. So she started doing it, and I just left my body. And I went up, and I was surrounded by these angelic beings, and they were speaking in their language, their frequency-based language, as was I. So when I came back, and she goes, you were gone a while and I couldn't bring you back. She was like shaking my leg and stuff and doing all this energy. Oh, wow. But when I went to speak to her, I was speaking in the angelical language, and I could not process English. I couldn't speak English for 7.5 hours. Wow. And she said, it'll come back, don't worry. So I was speaking in this language, and I could understand English, and I could answer English in my head, but I was speaking, when the words came out of my mouth, it was in this angelical language. And so ever since then, I've had the ability to communicate, that ability to translate and so forth, and to speak and to sing and to sign the angelical language. I'm able to communicate with the angels and understand kind of what it is that they're saying, and to transcribe what it is that they say to clients often. When that's
okay. So that's what people can come to you for, because at your website, which is phyllisdouglas.com with two S's on Douglas, they can set up remote readings with you, and that is because you can channel the angels, and that's where the messages are coming from for them?
Correct. Yes. And it was interesting because recently, yes, I do communicate with the angels, but I had this experience, and the angels said, we want you to understand now that you're communicating directly with God. You need to acknowledge, I knew that, you need to acknowledge that within yourself, because we, the angelic realm, are only intermediaries, right? And I'm comfortable with that intermediary. You know, the angels are messengers of God, and they're bringing that through. And I was always comfortable with that. But there was a part of me from my religious background and so forth, and just even a little bit of insecurity, who knows, that I'm like, oh, I'm communicating directly with God. And so I've had some situations within the last couple of years and several recently where I'm communicating directly with God. And God is saying, you need to acknowledge that, right?
Okay.
So that's been kind of an interesting process of spiritual evolution, as it were, for me.
Can you tell me what some of those messages have been that served you, that were meant for you or someone close to you?
They were really meant for me in that, you know, everybody's going through a shift in consciousness, you know, humanity is ascending, as well as animals and the planet and everything else. And it's really about integrating the higher vibrations and frequencies and so forth. Ascension is not about leaving the physical body and transitioning to a different form, or light body form, or spirit.
Right. Right. We're staying here. Yeah.
Right. We're staying here. We're being allowed to ascend in physical form. So it's our true essential essence that's anchoring down within the physical body, our true spiritual essence, which should be, which is really how we're existing 24/7. We're losing our human identity, and we're gaining our true understanding of our spiritual essence.
Well, can I ask you about that?
Yeah.
So we're losing our identity, which is a good thing. A lot of people who are spiritual understand that the identity is constructed by us, usually out of fear. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing and not look stupid to other people, and so we concoct this personality. But getting rid of that provides so much freedom to be your true essence. So how much of it is us being dragged, kicking and screaming away from our identity versus doing the work and surrendering the necessary layers? Or it's a combination, probably.
It's a combination. I think the majority of people can say there's been many moments where I've been dragged kicking and screaming, me included. But there's also many moments of deep understanding where, you know, I'm always saying, God, I surrender. But there's still aspects of our humanness that come forward, that internal narrative, these old stories, those old beliefs and so forth that come forward, those things, that energies or ideas and beliefs that we've taken ownership of that really never belong to us. They belong to our parents or our teachers or our clergy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And we have to let go of all of those things that are not us, right? That are not our truth. And our truth is really that we're undefinable beings. We are individuations of God. And it took me a while to truly speak of that and acknowledge that I am God. I'm an individuation of God having a physical experience, so that infinite light and energy flows through me, as in through me, throughout my daily life. That would be being an enlightened being, or having ascended, being able to truly understand that is you, that's the truth of you. So in so doing, there's no identity. You know, I have a name that I was given so people can communicate with me. And I'm a mother, and I've been a teacher, and I'm a massage therapist, and a number of different things that I could identify with. But all of those things really aren't my identity. They're just simply experiences that I've chosen to undertake in this lifetime.
Right.
But I'm not going to say I am sometimes people get stuck in an identity, and it's the same as being stuck in a box. And so you're never able to get out of that box to experience more of life.
Sure. I'm not a writer. I'm one who writes.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not an interviewer. I'm one who interviews. Exactly. So, okay. So people can call you. They can make appointments on your website to see you for readings. And is it that you're going to help them see where their life is going? Is it love life, or what do you cover with that?
Well, what I do in the sessions that I do, I bring in the angels, your guides, your loved ones, your ancestors, what have you. And basically what they're trying to do is to give you the information. It's all about altering your frequency, elevating and altering your frequency so that you can move forward from that moment in time and move towards your true path and purpose. So it's about deeper understanding. It's about awakening something within you that's been blocked, releasing negative patterns and things, or negative influences that are coming from your past, even past lifetimes. It's bringing energy forward from your ancestors and from past lives that you need to understand and integrate into this lifetime, right? So it's really about altering your frequency so that you can move forward from that moment.
Okay. And so it sounds like you're using sound to help break through those blocks, using sound and music, their own voice as well.
Well, not their own voice. No, it's sound, energy, and light. And when I open up to the quantum field, or the Akashic field, I open up what I call an Akashic portal. And so that gives me access, and you access as well, to everything and everything that you've ever experienced in all of your lifetimes, right?
Okay.
And so that's what we're pulling from. So I don't have the clients. I've actually never had the clients, but the angels will sing, and I'll bring in spoken guidance from your guides, or, a loved one who has passed. I even bring forward past lifetimes. And it literally, again, it's all about altering your frequency and releasing all of those old things that are keeping you from moving forward, or those things that are holding you back. And also those things that are, we're really good. The angels are always telling me humans are really good at muddying the waters and self-sabotaging themselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so it's really letting go of and releasing all of those things.
Wonderful. That's why you're an intuitive healer, a wellness coach, and a spiritual mentor. And you're I would call it a sound performer, right? Because these workshops and performances you give are amazing and really have a deep healing effect on people, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I usually use the term sound alchemy or vocal alchemy because I'm alchemizing. Yeah, I'm bringing in the frequencies, and there's an alchemy that takes place. There's a weaving of the frequencies that take place in order to create change, in order to create transformation, be it with an individual or in the group type of situations. So when I'm whoever's in the group or whoever the individual is, they're bringing in a certain vibration. They're bringing in certain frequencies of who they are in the moment. And
Right.
so I'm then bringing in frequencies that they can, entrain with or sympathize with, right? That's going to allow them to let go of something, to release something, that's going to break through dense or trapped energies. And it's about changing people's minds. I know it's about changing people's conscious minds, is what the angels are kind of always saying. And people can change their beliefs when you can bring in another truth that they recognize, right?
Well, and it's interesting to recognize that we are God, because you said before about our oneness, that we are God. In fact, for the December, January 2019 and 20 magazine issue, you're going to channel God or source in the form of an essay for the magazine. Do you encourage other people to do that? Can they do that? And if so, how can they?
Everybody has the ability. And, we inherently, people think from the past that we're separate, but we are not separate, never have been separate from God. It is our awareness. And so, a lot of people meditate for hours on end. And the angels told me, you really don't need to meditate more than 20 minutes at most. 5-10 minutes is good. Because meditation is really about that deep, direct communication, that, activating and instilling yourself within that channel of communication. And it's like being tuned in, tapped in, plugged in, right?
Yeah.
Being consciously aware that you are God, that you are connected to that channel of information and light, that infinite channel of information and light. And So everybody can do it, but you know, when they're saying humans like to muddy up the water, really what they're meaning is people go through the extravagant meditations and they're like, all you need to do is sit down, close your eyes, and just say, hi, God, I'm here to talk. And it's, you know, they're like, it's as simple as that. Or, you know, I'm here
Right.
to communicate with you. And you sit in silence and you just allow yourself to be open to receive, right?
And
That's
not judge how it's coming.
right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like in addition to the intuitive readings you're giving people, you're giving them coaching because you're a wellness coach and spiritual mentor. How would you like people to reach out to you?
They can go to my website and they can either phone me or they can text me. Right. I do offer free 20-minute consultations on Thursdays as well, and you can sign up for those on my website.
Ah,
You know, I do. I don't do a booking service because I really like to tap into people's energy, and I really like to be able to physically talk to them, you know, before I
okay.
start those sessions. Yeah.
Well, what do you want people to know in closing here? What do you want people to know about themselves and their own power with this, whether they call you or not to consult with you? What do you want to leave them with?
My mandate in this lifetime is to make people consciously understand that they are God, that they are an individuation of God. And in that knowing comes the understanding that you true are powerful and infinite creator beings, right?
Hmm.
So that's really what I'm here to do. And so in all of my work, it is about assisting people with that shift in consciousness, that understanding. The angels gave me this image one time, which I really loved, about the understanding about how you're God and how you come into this lifetime. But they're like, if you envision God as this huge body of water, like an ocean, and this
Mhm.
wave comes crashing to shore, which would be earth, and a little bit of the water splashes out. They're like, you're that little splash of water. So you have an experience, and then when the next wave comes in, it gathers you up and carries you back out, and you become one. We're always one, but we're coming
Right.
in and out of that, but nothing changes about who we truly are. And so I think when people understand that, there is a great deal of empowerment and self-love and compassion, and that comes through that individual in their own understanding, that they can then walk in their truth and illuminate the paths of others who need that help, and they can be of service.
And with all these changes that are happening energetically in the world, it's better to surf the waves of change than to fight them, right?
Most definitely, because a lot of people just, you know, they want to cling to the past. So instead of going with the flow of the stream, they're turning around and they're trying to swim against the current. When we really just need to surrender and turn back around and just allow the stream to carry us.
Beautiful. Thank you, Phyllis, for being here. This is a great interview. People can find you at Phyllis Douglas with 2S's.com. Thank you so much for being here, Phyllis.
Thank you so much, Scott.
All right. And go to radiancemagazine.org to find more. Thank you.